food historian Tasha Marks
food historian مؤرخ historian.
Here's food historian describing one unusual superstition to describing one unusual superstition describe to be the food. When you have superstitions and they sort of mix with science and health, and medicine and one of the examples of that would be something like
What examples of the word be something?
Examples of that would be something like garlic, which we all know garlic wards off vampires, but
Farts. Words. Vampires مصاص الدماء.
Wards off, but it's also been thought to
ولكن يعتقد أيضا
ward off the evil eye, and if you come across the term
a course مصادفة, and if you come across بجانب, and if you come across
the term the evil eye, it's a sort of blanket term.
blackened is a sort of نوع من blanket بطانية.
Term that sort of applies to
ينطبق.
Term that sort of any bad luck.
Tasha says that garlic is believed to ward off vampires.
Is believed to ward off vampires.
Meaning to repel or stop someone from harm. Meaning to repel or stop.
Meaning to repel or stop. Repel. Meaning to repel or stop someone from.
Meaning to repel or stop some.
منع أو إيقاف أو صد.
Meaning to repel or stop someone from harming you.
Harming you إيذائك.
According to this superstition, garlic also keeps away the evil eye. Garlic also keeps away the evil eye. Bad luck or magical spells with
تعويذة سحرية.
with the power to cause bad things to happen.
Tasha describes the evil eye. as a blanket term for any bad luck. Just as a real blanket covers the different part. Just as a real blanket covers the different parts of your body. A blanket term is a phrase that's used to describe many examples.
It's a phrase that's used to describe many examples
of related things.
But food superstitions aren't only about.
But food superstition aren't only
about bad luck. They also give our lives meaning.
معنى لحياتنا, lives meaning.
Jonty in Hyderabad, India, he introduces visitors to some. Introduces visitors to some the city's food traditions.
The World Service of Hindu New Year. Can you spot the different tastes?
اكتشاف the different
tastes she mentions?
Some of the traditions give you a little bit of a lesson. Like on every New Year, and not the 1st January, not the Gregorian calendar New Year, but the Hindu calendar New Year. The Hindu calendar New Year.
calendar تقويم.
We would always be given it's a kind of a chutney.
It's a kind of a chutney.
Chutney.
salsa.
It's a kind of a chutney which is made of all the 5 tastes. So
Which is made of all the 5 tastes.
So you have sour, you have sweet, you have something bitter in it, and you have something bitter in it, and
something bitter. مر.
need to have something bitter in it, and your mom would always give it to you, saying that this is what the rest of the year is going to be. You'll have happiness, you'll have challenges,
You'll have happiness, you'll have challenges.
You'll have a little sadness, you'll have
A little sadness.
bitterness in your
bitterness, مرارة.
bitterness in your life, which I think is a very nice tradition.
Which I think is very nice tradition.
It prepares you for everything in life. It prepares you for
It prepares you for everything in life.
At Hindu New Year, their children a special chutney.
Their children a special chutney.
A mixture of fruit, spices, sugar, and vinegar. A mixture of fruit, spice.
A mixture of fruit, spice.
A mixture of fruit, spices, sugar, and vinegar. Did you spot the chutney's flavors, Sam?
There was sour, sweet, and bitter.
Mothers tell their children that the coming year
Mothers tell their Mothers tell their children
that the coming year, like the chutney, that the coming year
that the coming year, like a chutney,
will have its own flavors, both good and bad.
both good and bad سواء will have its own flavor, its own flavor
Will have its own flavor.
will have
its own flavors.
That's why Jonty says that traditions that can teach you a lesson.
can teach you a lesson.
They show you what you should or they show you what you
They show you what you should
shouldn't do in the future as a result of experience.
Superstitions. What a lovely way to end our look at foods. What a lovely
way to end our love food.
Yes, maybe we should make chutney at Halloween instead of carving or whatever vegetable at Halloween instead of carving pumpkin. At Halloween instead of carving pumpkin. Or whatever vegetable the Irish originally
Or whatever vegetables.
Used. Or what?
Yes, in my quiz question, I asked you
what vegetables
was originally used instead of pumpkin to scare away ghosts.
I guessed it was B, potatoes.
Which was the wrong answer. In fact, turnips were originally used. So maybe Irish ghosts are smaller than American ones.
Maybe Irish ghosts are smaller.
So maybe Irish ghosts are
smaller than American
ones.
Okay, let's recap the vocabulary we've learned. Okay, let's recap the vocabulary.
نلخص. Let's recap the
Okay, let's recap the vocabulary we've learned about superstitions. We've learned about superstition. Old beliefs which are connected with magic. All beliefs which are connected with magic.
Garlic is supposed to ward off. Garlic is supposed to ward off.
تحميك. يقي.
Or keep away dangers like the evil eye. Or keep away dangers like the evil eye, bad luck or harmful.
The evil eye is an example of a blanket term. A phrase used to describe many. Many examples of related things.
One Indian superstition involves chutney.
One Indian superstition involves chutney.
One Indian food mixing many flavors.
These traditions can teach you a lesson, show you how to act. A lesson, show you how to act in the future. Act in the future based on your past experience.
Based on your past experience. بناء على تجربتك السابقة. Based on your past experience. Based on your past experience.
Based on your
Right, well, that's all for this program. Good luck with your language learning.
and
Good luck with your...
And if you've enjoyed this topical discussion and want to learn how to use the vocabulary found in headlines,
Use the vocabulary found in headlines.
why not try out our news review podcast?
Hello, this is CBC Learning. I see you've been tucking into the bit.
Talking into the... I see you've been
tucking into the bit. Biscuits again, Rob.
For a quick and easy... You can't beat a bite on a biscuit.
You can't beat a bite on biscuits.
You can't beat a bite on a biscuit for a quick and easy sweet treat. For a quick and easy sweet treat. They make me feel good. They make me as long as I don't eat too many. As long as I don't eat too many.
As long
As long as I don't eat too many. As long as I don't eat too many.
So these are your.
As long as I don't eat too many. As long as I don't eat too many.
So these are.
As long as I don't eat too many.
So these are your edible comforters.
Comforters. Edible comforters.
Comforters.
معزون.
So these are your edible comforters. A comforter is something that makes.
A comforters.
A comforter is something that makes you feel relaxed and feel good. Put another way, it is your comfort food. This program. Food, which is what we're talking about in this food.
Yes, like biscuits, comfort food is... Yes, like biscuits, snacks and meals we like to stuff our faces with, even if it's not always good for us.
Even if it's not always good for us. Even if it's not good always for us.
Faces with, even if it's not always good for faces with, even if it's not always good for us. Faces with, even if it's not always good for us. We'll be discussing what actually makes us eat the stuff. We'll be discussing what actually eat the stuff.
But how about a question to feast on, Rob?
But how about question to feast on? Feast on نتغذى. Feast يتغذى. Feast.
But how about a question? Patrick Bertoletti from the US holds the Guinness World Record for
hold the Guinness World Record for eating
the most cream-filled biscuits in
the most cream-filled biscuits
eating the most cream-filled biscuits eating the most cream-filled biscuits in eating the most cream-filled biscuits in 1 minute. Do you know how in 1 minute how many biscuits he ate?
He had in 1 minute. Do you know?
Was it A, 2?
Was it هل كانت
Was it A, 2?
Well, based on my biscuit eating skill.
Well, based on my biscuit eating skills.
Well, based on my biscuit eating skills, well, I'd say 15. It depends if he had to swallow them as I'd say 15.
I'd say 15. It depends of
I'd say 15. It depends if he had to swallow them as well.
swallow.
I'd say 15. It depends if he had to swallow them as
Swallow. كده.
I'd say them as well.
I'm not sure about that, but I'll reveal the answer later on. Now, biscuits, ice cream are all good examples of comfort food.
Are all good example of a comfort food.
They're easy to snack on and they're easy to snack.
They're easy to snack.
They're easy. They don't require many culinary
require and don't require many
They don't require many culinary skills.
culinary مهارات الطهي culinary
They don't require many culinary skills. They don't require many
they don't require many culinary skills.
They don't require many culinary skills. Culinary means related to cooking.
Well, that makes sense, but but there must be something else. But there must be something else.
But there must be something else. But there must be something else.
But there must be something else. But there must be something else.
But there must be something else. يجب يكون هناك.
That is urging us to seek out this. That is urging us.
Urging. That is urging. Has. That is urging us. يحثنا. That is urging us. That is urging us to seek.
That is urging us to seek out this easy food.
Seek out. يبحث. Seek. That is urging us to seek out this easy food.
That is urging us to seek out this easy food.
According to psychologist Shira Gabriel, it's about memories and emotional experiences. It's about memories and emotional experience. According to
psychologist عالبة النفس. Psychologist.
She spoke on the Food Chain podcast On BBC, her comfort food was macaroni and cheese. Something that brings back memories. Something that brings back memories.
Brings back memories. Brings back memories. Brings.
Something that
At some point in my life,
And at some point in my life, في مرحلة ما في حياتي. At some point of my life. At some point,
those were foods that were made for me or shared with me by people who
for me or shared with me
by people who cared about me and loved me and took
cared about me and loved me. اهتمت بي. cared about me
and loved me and took care of me. So because those took care of me, because those are the took care of me, because those are the foods that I
took care of me.
Those are the foods that I had. Those are in my youth.
شبابي. In my youth. شبابي. In my youth.
I've associated them.
ربطتها.
Associated.
So I have associated them.
In my youth, I've associated them with sort of those feelings of being taken care. Sort of those feelings of being taken care of. And those associations are strong.
And those associations are strong.
Sort of those feelings of being taken care of. And those associations are strong.
ارتباطات قوية.
Associations we have with food are very strong. And so by eating those foods, I'm able to activate those associations and then give myself a rush of positive.
دفعة معنوية. اندفاعا. Rush of positive.
Then give myself a rush of positive feelings and a sense of acceptance.
So, like so many of us, associates eating certain types of food. Associates eating certain types of food with past experiences from her youth.
With past experience from her youth.
Associates means makes a connection in your.
Associates means make a connection.
Associate in your mind with something. And these connections between memories are very strong. I know eating biscuits reminds me of
reminds me of يذكرني reminds me of.
I know eating them after school as a treat. Eating them after school.
Eating them after school as a treat. As a treat.